Alright, so this is going to be a build guide. For the build I'm currently running at level 58, which is a Dark Knight Ranger build. It's a toxic gas cloud build. This is how I distributed the attribute points. The majority of the points were put into bravery for that increased toxic damage and healing affinity. And then the remainder of my points were going to be put into focus for increased attack speed, because I want to generate as many toxic clouds as quickly as I can, because that's where my healing and my damage come from. Now the passives we're going to use, I'm using Bloody Order, which essentially turns any ability into a leech ability. So when I'm creating the gas clouds, as they're doing damage, they're actually striking the target and leeching back health to me. The next one I'm going to use is going to be Detached Suffering, which basically increases my damage by 20% and my resistance to all attributes by 40%. Those are going to be the two passives, especially for doing hard mode dungeons. Now, if you're just out questing or something, you could swap maybe this one for Vicious Sacrifice for increased toxic damage if you wanted to, or Scarlet Cross or Horrific Violence. Now on the primary class abilities, so basically I'm using 3 Dark Knight abilities and 3 Ranger abilities. The 3 Dark Knight abilities that I'm going to use on Defused Curse, which you unlock at level 13, we're going to put points in that to get it up to full miasma, which reduces, it's going to do some toxic damage over time, and it also reduces the resistance to all attributes by 35% of any enemy caught in that toxic ring, which is going to increase my damage a little bit more. Next ability we're going to use is going to be the Demonic Shield, which you unlock at level 15. We'll put points into that and get it up to Wailing Ring, which lasts for 10 seconds instead of the 5 seconds that the beginning shield lasts for, so it lasts twice as long. And that's just going to be a defensive ability in case I get in trouble and start taking damage a little bit quicker than what I expected to take damage. Then the last, third Dark Knight ability we're going to use is going to be Toxic Siphon, which is from Soul Siphon. You unlock at level 24. We're going to put points all the way into that to get up to Toxic Siphon, which is going to do a lot of toxic damage. It does 385% toxic damage to all enemies in range, and then when a target is struck, it has another chance to do an additional 370% toxic damage to all enemies within a 15 unit range. So those are the 3 Dark Knight abilities that I'm using. Then the Ranger abilities we're going to use, starting out on our primary skills. This very first one here, we're going to put points into that and get it all the way up to Poisonous Fog. What this does, it creates a gas cloud around the first enemy, lasts for 2 seconds. Every half a second, they're going to take 70% toxic damage. So all enemies in that gas cloud will take 70% toxic damage. This is why you wanted the attack speed, because the more of these clouds you generate, the more damage you're going to do, and in turn, the more healing you're going to receive from Bloody Order. And then the next Ranger ability we're going to use at level 11, you'll unlock Potent Charge. We're going to put points into that to go ahead and get Malin Flip unlocked. Basically, this is a movement ability that I use to kind of get through enemies. It will also leave a gas cloud behind that does 55% toxic damage every half a second. So this is also going to generate healing from Bloody Order. Then the third and final Ranger ability we're going to use is going to be Arrow Storm. Level 15, when you get that unlocked, we're going to put points into that to get Dirty Arrows unlocked. Basically, this causes arrows to rain down from the sky, and it's going to leave another gas cloud behind 2 seconds. So every half a second, they're going to take some toxic damage. So all of the Ranger abilities that I'm using are going to leave gas clouds behind, and those gas clouds are going to do damage every half a second, and most of them are for 2 seconds. So that means they're going to do 4 damage ticks in 2 seconds. and those are all going to cause Bloody Order to proc. So I'm going to receive healing from all 4 of those. And if you look at where they're at on my ability bar, if you notice, I don't have any secondary skills right here selected from the primary class or the secondary class. I have 1 primary skill, and then everything else that I have is advanced skills. So what you're going to do, you're going to want to unlock this up here. So you'll click this, and what that does, it's going to let you put any ability on any button that you want. So that lets you customize your build a little bit better. So we're going to jump right into the Chaos Temple here in hard mode. This is the current max level dungeon. So this is the end game dungeon, and this will be on hard mode. Keep right on moving. I don't really need any of the lower level gear from in here. Right on into the boss room here. I actually heal so much that I can pretty much just stand here and let this guy hit me on hard mode. A couple things to look out for. Like that one. He jumps. You want to jump out of the way of that. Real quick. Now it does look a little odd because I am using dual swords. And they're pretty high level swords, and since that ability is a ranged ability, I actually shoot a little gun that is nowhere even on my character list. Here's some of my gear I'm using. So it's pretty high level gear, but the build is actually the build that I started using to get that gear. I actually started with the Departed gear, and then changed to this and started using this build, and that was how I was able to farm all of this higher level gear. Of course, again, if you guys have any questions, holler at me. You can message me on here on YouTube, on Steam, or you can jump in the game and holler at me. Thanks, guys.